Hello, Professor Parnell.
Hello, Abubakar. It's very nice to be here. Thank you for taking the time for reaching out.
Okay, so how did you get the idea for the International Cafe? Because you are so much intact with the International Cafe.
You have to take your weak points and make them your strong points, because if you don't, then you're not well-rounded.
I don't need to go outside for the exercise or for outgoing activities. If I'm in front of my laptop or in front of my computer, or I'm editing different projects, just make me more happy. So that's mean editing is for me.
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and they're very interactive. They're super interactive.
So what has been your most rewarding experience teaching university students?
Hey, can you hire this guy? And they said, oh, well, please send him for an interview. But he didn't come for the interview 3 times.
They are native speaker, and this is not for me. And when again next day when I join, so I think the big Johns they say, speak up, Abu. Why didn't speak up? So if you don't speak up, so that's mean you never be learn English language, or you never be speak up. So just speak up.
Tried to get into physiotherapy. That didn't quite work. I did get an interview, but I was rejected for the interview. I tried massage therapy for a year.
What's your specific advice for the English learner?
It taught me about rejection, because to get a painting contract, if you want to get one contract, 1 or 2 or 3 contracts, you have to knock on 100 doors.
Every day you select a question and then everyone reply on there. So how did you get idea, and why did you start this platform?
Without her, without the people that she recruited, we wouldn't be where we are today. Everybody needs a guy like Big John, right? A Big John to push you a little bit.
Exactly. Hello guys, this is me Abubakar once again with Professor Parnell. That is my aim to start with Professor Parnell, but that was a little bit tough for me because it's not easy for me to communicate with the native speaker. So right now, Professor Parnell with us. Hello, Professor Parnell.
Hello, Abubakar. It's very nice to be here. Thank you for taking the time for reaching out.
Well, thank you so much. You give me a chance because you have busy schedule. You are running the International Cafe platform. There are several meetings every day, and you moderator there. So tell me about your background, from where you come, and how long you stay in the South Korea, and especially your education background, your business initial stage when you start.
Okay, well, just simply, I'm Canadian, and I have. In terms of education, I studied business, and I studied, my first was business and computer science.
By the way, we have the same background. I completed my computer sciences around 2015.
Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, but I decided not to go in the computer or the business field, which was very interesting, that I didn't go that way. I did have a painting business, which helped me pay for my undergraduate degree, and that was very interesting. That was a lesson in flexibility, in being resourceful, in building rapport with people, and there was some salesmanship in there, and that was very interesting. But I realized near the end of my university career that I probably wasn't going that route, and I was definitely not going to go computer science. A lot of people love computer science. A lot of people love computers, but I realized that at that point, coding, especially coding, it's very specific, and you need a special mind for it. And yes, I could do it, but I just didn't enjoy it. So I was kind of lost for a few years, trying this and that. Tried to get into physiotherapy at Dalhousie University in Canada, in Nova Scotia. My first degree was at St. Mary's University in Canada for business. And I tried to get into physiotherapy. That didn't quite work. I did get an interview, but I was rejected for the interview. I tried massage therapy for a year, but I did find that it was very difficult on my hands. in my
Mm-hmm.
body. And it was a 2-year program. I did 1 year of it, and I felt it was a little bit difficult, but I learned a lot of really interesting stuff. And then I ended up going to England, and I ended up getting a job as a teacher's assistant. And that's when I realized that's maybe my calling. And that was really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so yeah, that was okay. Maybe I want to be a teacher. So then I came back to Canada, and we can talk a little bit more about. I had a friend. I was working in a restaurant, and he wanted a job to teach French. He was from France, and so I went to a government institute in my town, and I said, "Hey, can you hire this guy?" And they said, "Oh, well, please send him for an interview." But he didn't come for the interview 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I said, "Okay, I can speak French. I'll take the test. I'll do the interview." And I ended up getting the job, and I was teaching French for a little while. And then that's when I started to really know that maybe teaching language was where I wanted to be.
So
So
initial stage, you are switched to different professionals, but finally you get, exciting professional for you. You are so happy when you join the teaching. So I switched a lot of, professionals in my life, but especially with video editing, that's a little bit, I'm comfortable with that. If I spend 10 or 15 hours continuously, I feel relaxed. I don't need to go
mm,
outside for the exercise or for outgoing activities. If I'm in
mhm.
front of my laptop or in front of my computer, or I'm editing different projects, just make me more happy. So that's mean editing is for me. So let's move to another question. So in initial stage, when you complete your educations, at that time you run your business as a printing company. So how do you run that? How much help you during the educational life?
How much help did I want?
How much your printing companies help you during your education?
Well, it paid for my education.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was the main thing. And it taught me a lot of lessons, and it was a lot of work. And it taught me about rejection, because to get a painting contract, if you want to get one contract, 1 or 2 or 3 contracts, you have to knock on 100 doors.
Hmm.
And maybe you'll get 10 interviews, and then maybe you'll get one yes. So it taught about perseverance, taking rejection, and when you go through all that and you finally get that one contract, there's such a feeling of satisfaction because you endured.
Hmm.
It's just you finished the race, right? It
Exactly.
wasn't it wasn't the money, it was I finished the race. So that was
Well,
nice.
I remember I worked when I was in Dubai for I think for 8 months. I worked for one company. He's run a huge printing company. They make a different type of poster, and sometimes I install the posters in the road, and sometimes in buildings. That was a tough job. And sometimes they call me for the midnight activities when they are printing in the night time because the staff is not properly working the night time because daytime also they are busy. Okay, let's
Yeah.
move to another question. So, what inspired you to develop your English writing and business courses?
Well, frankly, well, after I got my first degree, I ended up long road. I loved education. I ended up getting a master's in English education. So the writing course was simply my university saying, "Well, you're an English teacher. Can you teach writing?" so so I taught writing, and similarly with the business, because I had the business background, they had asked me if I wanted to teach business. Both of those areas of both English writing and teaching business were not my strong points at the time. And I've always believed in making your weak points your strong points. That's what inspired me to take on the challenge. I'm not teaching writing so much these days, but that's what inspired me. Is you have to take your weak points and make them your strong points, because if you don't, then you're not well rounded.
Definitely, yeah, I understand. It's so tough. In a state, everything's also tough, and when you are progress step by step, you learn a lot of things. Exactly. So, what has been your most rewarding experience teaching university students and government workers also?
I think the most rewarding experience is helping students that want to be helped, being able to help them. So I've had some students that who like wanted to take it to the next level, and they come to me and they ask, and I've been able to introduce them. I had one student from, I think, Uzbekistan. I ended up introducing her to a German professor, and he helped her get a job in Germany, and then she's going to get a job connected to her country somehow. So to help her, and I helped her in other ways. She was always late, and I would always be angry at her, and she said, thank you for teaching me those skills. But also, a rewarding experience is there's always students that seem lost, and they just need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of encouragement.
Mhm.
And to see those students, they don't know what they want, but then slowly find what they want, and it's really wonderful to see them find their way. And those are really my rewarding experiences.
Did you face some interesting things with the international students, because they are a little bit tough sometimes for the teachers, because they are joined from different countries, they have a different accent. Sometimes they didn't understand the questions or wanted to elaborate something. So do you have some stories share with us, something interesting moments you face in the class with international student?
Well, it's very interesting because for many years I was only teaching Korean students, mostly Korean students.
Mhm.
And from a Western background, it was very curious because they would always just sit and not really talk at the beginning. As time has gone by, they have become more interactive. So but I understand, I think, the Korean student way now, how they work. So I'm used to their way. And now I have students from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and they're very interactive. They're super interactive. And so I went from not very interactive to super interactive. And now I feel like I'm Korean because, like, oh my God, there's so much information coming. So we're having more and more of those students now. So I'm having to adapt to them now, and it's very, very interesting. Also, a lot of them are Muslim, and they have different life experiences, and they're just so fun. But I haven't learned their culture 100% yet, and I'm excited to keep learning because I've only met them in the last 1 year or two, or 3. But a lot of them. I've met a few of them for a few years, but interesting. They have so much energy and they're so curious. It's really interesting.
So what do you think, why there is several people or students that join from the Central Asia, like as you shared before, the Turkmenistan or Azerbaijan, some of those countries, they join university as a students?
Our university has big exchange programs, and they have lots of outreach programs, and they make relationships with other universities. And I think our university, it's not perfect, but there's a sincerity to the people in our university, and it's a beautiful campus. It's not perfect, but it's always getting better. I would say every week, every day, every year. And I can see it being, I hope it's going to be one of the top universities for foreign students.
Okay, so how did you get the idea for the International Cafe? Because you are so much in touch with the International Cafe. Always there is questions in the voice messenger. There is every day you select a question and then everyone reply on there. So how did you get idea, and why did you start this platform?
The beginning was in 2020 when COVID hit, and I taught some students. They were Korean students, and they were going to Vietnam. And we started with, I think, lots of Korean students, and then we started to get students from everywhere. Not everywhere, but we started to get some students, and it was because students were lonely. Everybody was lonely, but everybody wanted to learn, right? And it was a perfect way to bring people together. In terms of the small ideas, that has to do with our media leader, Annie. I think I was doing it for a year or two by myself. Finally, Annie just committed, right? She just committed 100%, because I need some help. I would like to do an Instagram or something like that, YouTube or what's that? Annie handles that. She was the
Mm.
jet fuel. She was the jet fuel for growing the cafe.
Mhm.
Like she recruited good people. She
Mm.
brainstormed a great idea. She monitored progress and like
Mhm.
executed plans. Without her, without the people that she recruited, we wouldn't be where we are today.
So, what exactly role Annie played helping organize this international cafe?
Young, smart, energy.
Mhm.
Young, smart, so energy, and she recruited some
Cage.
great people.
Yeah.
Really recruited some great people. She recruited the great teachers like Hidayah, Victoria, all of our teachers, all of our teachers. She made a form. She put it out there looking for people to recruit. Yeah, without her, without her and all the teachers that put in their time, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yeah, it's so tough sometimes. And when I open the Zoom link, sometime 1 hour before and sometime 1 hour late, I join the meeting because it's so tough. Sometimes we didn't handle the exact timing because
Mhm.
there are several teacher from different part of world and they have a
Yeah.
different time zone. It's so tough. Sometimes I didn't get that because exactly, but they're right there the GMT time or local time also.
Yeah. So I think we solved that problem. I hope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how do you see international cafe expanding with other languages, especially with the Chinese and Portuguese?
Chinese, Portuguese, Japanese. How do I see it expanding? First, I want it to be like I want to keep it as a community, and when I want people to think international cafe, I want them to think community of international language learners, young and old, who are excited to just meet and become better at whatever language that they want to. And secondly, I want to serve them. Many of the students have said they want certifications, but to get certifications, we either have to make our own. That's going to take time and money,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or we have to hire somebody, like do a TOEIC certification. That takes time and money, and I want to keep the costs down. So I want to serve the students somehow. Still working on that. I don't know when I'll solve that. And I also want to provide a gateway of exchange between students and universities throughout the world. That's what I would like to do.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. You have call for the English learner. They are more passionate to join meetings or learn the English language. You have almost 20 years experience in this field, and could you share with me your challenges that definitely you face different challenges over 20 years in South Korea, especially during their teaching the English language?
The main one was finding your own way. You have to find your own way. Everybody has a different style. So
Mhm.
that's the thing about our teachers. When our teachers would first come to us, they would say, "Do we have to teach a certain curriculum?" And I generally would say, "No. You follow your own style,
Mm.
because if you can follow your own style, then you'll be comfortable teaching."
Exactly.
Uh, but for my style is try to keep it something that they're interested in listening about, hearing, and talking about, and making it fun. In terms of challenges, how do you make it fun? How do you make it interesting to them? Those are the challenges, and that takes experience.
So, what's your specific advice for the English learner? They join our meetings sometimes they are participate in the video challenge and the voice challenge because they say we didn't expose ourselves, like we didn't show our
Mhm.
face there. So the messenger groups also there. You didn't share your face there, just send the voice message there, but still they are facing some issues. So,
Mhm.
what's your advice for the beginner? They join our community or they want to learn the English language to improve their skills.
Just begin slow and know that you're in a safe place. There's no pressure to produce. You can come and listen. You can come and listen. Begin slow. Get comfortable. But begin slow. And don't. Everybody was the same as you at one point. I'm trying to learn Korean now, and I feel like a 3-year-old boy. You just try
Well,
your best.
I remember, almost 6 months back when I joined the first time. international cafe Zoom meeting. So I think that was a Big John was there and
Oh yeah,
Hitaya.
big
I
deal.
think
Yeah.
that was a Sunday, early morning. I think when I joined the meeting, all the participator was speak up and they enjoy there. For one meeting, I think 45 minutes I was just watching and totally I
Mm.
was blank there because I think that's all these are professionals and they are native speaker and this is not for me. And when again next day when I joined, so I think the big Johns they say speak up, Abu. Why didn't speak up? So if you don't speak up, so that's mean you never be learn English language or you never be speak up. So just speak up. Then I start my conversation, but that was terrible for me. It's so
Hmm.
much exhausted for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all the time almost fishing for the word. But gradually, he forced me for the video challenge. I completed, I think, almost a week or maybe 2 weeks before.
Hmm.
100 video challenge I completed. Now I wanted to upload in my channel. So that's all these struggles definitely so tough in this stage, and everyone they are facing these type of issues.
Yeah.
Gradually, when you are passionate with your goals, you hit that.
Hmm. Everybody needs a guy like Big John, right? A Big John to push you a little bit, to push you.
Exactly, exactly.
You need to be pushed. Yeah.
How do you balance your teaching and your business courses, the English language teaching?
It's hard. It was really hard last semester because I was spending more time on my one business course than the other four English courses, and that's because I needed to study. I needed to study, and then I needed to present the material in a way that I like to present, and I like to present the material in a way where students can put the materials in their minds, not just memorize it, but use it. And so it was a real challenge. So this semester I've stepped back a little bit, and then maybe next semester I'll go back more into it. It's been a real challenge because my skill set is teaching English. My skill set was not so much teaching business, but there are some commonalities there on how to present the material, right? I just have to just practice. I just
Mhm.
have to practice.
So, what do you think? What's the major difference between the teaching English language or teaching a
Uh,
business English? Because a few days back, I conducted one interview with Balanska. She's
mm,
from Mexico.
mm,
So she says something like that. I'm a business English teacher. So then I received one email from Somalia, Firdosa, I think. She sent me a mail. I want to contact with Balanska. I want to learn the in business English. So I was
mm.
confused. So could you elaborate this?
Well, there's business English and then there's business courses. So business English, I haven't taught that much business English, but you could teach like emails, you could teach
Hmm.
presentations, you could
Mhm.
teach reading reports, analyzing reports, right?
Mhm.
That's business English. But I was actually teaching like marketing, right?
Mhm.
So you'd have to study, you've got the product place, price, promotion, right?
Mhm.
You've got different marketing strategies, inner marketing strategies, outer marketing strategies. It's much different than English. There's a wider variety of information and a wider variety of skills when you're teaching business.
Exactly. We are
Mm,
learning a simple language. Like it's
yeah,
help us when we travel outside our country, we communicate with the people or in mall or in airport or
yeah,
somewhere we stuck so easily we can find out a way because it's easy to communicate with everywhere. But if we join a different field and every field have a different dimension or requirement and
yes,
you
yes,
must
yes,
have to be get that specific
yes.
information about that particular field. That's really
Hmm.
essential, yeah. But that is
Exactly.
for the professionals.
Yes, yes. So it's a different skill set.
So, Professor Parnell, what's your future goals for the International Cafe and for your teaching career also?
The goals for the cafe essentially is to hopefully serve the students, to create a community, and to hopefully have some sort of gateway between students and universities throughout the world. Those are the general goals there.
So, what do you think? What I do next? Because I start this channel and I decide to conduct interview with the different peoples with different
Hmm.
professionals from different corner of the world, because that's
Hmm.
every region, every country, they have a different accents. If
Hmm.
I wanted to conduct with the
Hmm.
interviews or conversation in English and upload on my channels, because if
Hmm.
someone they wanted to learn something, definitely they can enjoy there and they can learn a lot of things, especially the teachers and different professionals I target there. So what's your advice for
Hmm.
me and especially for my channel?
How many business people have you interviewed?
I think almost one or two.
One or two? What
Mm.
kind of businesses have they been in?
I didn't remember right now,
So I
but
guess
most of teachers, most of teachers.
I guess maybe start if you can doing interviews of people from different businesses.
Mm.
That would be interesting, and then you can maybe talk about their their mentors, which is a kind of
Mm.
teaching as well,
Mhm.
right? And we don't become a success unless we have, oftentimes we have mentors to help us, right?
Exactly.
So perhaps if you could target people, businesses that you're interested in, and talk about their mentors and their learning experience to get where they have gotten. Hmm.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Parnell, for your time. And that's a really amazing conversation with you. And I learned a lot of things, and that's make me more confident because I conduct interview with you as a professionals, teachers, and the native speakers. Definitely, in the beginning, definitely I faced with issues. It's not easy for me to communicate with you because if you talk with some professionals, especially with
Hmm.
those person, you learn from your teacher, sometimes you're facing some issues. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thank you
we
very
have a few
much.
minutes in the end if you say something.
Well, thank you for having me here. It was an honor and a pleasure to have the discussion. I really enjoyed exploring some of these ideas, which helped clarify kind of the direction that I want to go. So thank you for taking the time to reach out to me and to create this interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.